built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome everybody to RBO. It's your boy Vaughn here, man. I told you I was coming back, didn't I? Told you I was coming back 2 times in one day, and I brought my boys with me. Right here with me, I got 2 of my good men. I got Dave representing the Miami Heat. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing good, man. You know I got to represent that Heat culture. You know, man, our team's actually playing right now. It's 58-54 at halftime. Orlando up 4. So, come on, Heat coach, you got to make that push in the second half. I mean, you can't have me as a guest on the show and then lose. Like, come on.
Hey, man, you know, y'all home at the game, but on the show, it's my home. So, you know.
My bad, big
It's a little even. It's a little even today. You know what I'm saying? I had to even the odds for my squad. But also got my boy Tomo here representing the Wizards. How you doing, Tomo?
You see the DC everywhere. I think we're in the same conference too, right?
Yes, sir.
That's funny. Look how that all played out. Even though I'm the worst team right now, but I'm doing good, man. I'm here to bring some spirits.
Only because Colin show up. That's all.
Yeah, that's all. That's the only reason.
Yeah, we're gonna have an HOA meeting, Carl. We gotta figure out why you ain't show up. But yeah, I'm good, man. I'm ready to talk about these Wizards and give myself some promise or some false hopes for this season.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate both you guys for coming through. You know, today is the first day of a full slate of basketball. We got 10 games on. Teams, just like Dave said, the Magic and the Heat playing right now. We got the Pacers and the Pistons playing, Hawks and the Nets. I mean, it's so many matchups going on right now. And then we also have a grand finale of the Suns and the Clippers, Warriors and the Blazers, man. So it's a good day for real for some basketball. But we got 2 teams we're going to talk about. Hopefully, we get to talk about the third team as well. We'll see if they show up, unlike they did most games last year. So, before we get started, though.
What's up with the Jordans, Tomo? Just taking shots every time they on the show, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but
hey, I gotta let the world know, man. You know, when you duck a little bit, you get hit with a couple of things, you know. That's all I'm saying.
My neighbor having car troubles. He on his way.
He caught a flat tire.
Hey, that's bad.
How he gonna be in Detroit and got a flat tire? That don't sound right.
No, he ain't got a flat. He walked out there. That thing was on bricks. You know, they're in that type of neighborhood.
Hey. Only we can talk bad about this neighborhood, all right? At least we got fences, you know. Some call them gates. We call them fences, all right?
All right, man. Before we get started, man, like, subscribe, share this video with anybody that's an NBA fan. We also have tons of different shows on the network. This isn't just RBO. We have a whole R2L network with a plethora of shows. Check them all out. They're all downloaded in the description. Make sure you also tap the link down low, become a member. We have some IG chats where it gets intense, man. You get to learn a lot about different sports. You get to debate. You get to see. You know, it's like a live show 24/7. You know, many people pop in there and they sending a popcorn eating gift like, yo, I'm going to sit back and enjoy the show. So tap in, become a member, man, and join the family. But other than that, enjoy the show. We're going to first kick this off. You know, we all live in the DMV, so we got to start with the home squad.
Of course, that 202, baby.
Shout out my boy Mark in the comments. We talk about the Wizards, man. All right. Last year, this team was the second worst team in the East last year. You know, they got rid of their they got new GM in there. They got new coach in there. So they're trying to make some things happen. It's kind of similar to the other Washington team, the Commanders. You know, they're trying to turn some things around. So, Tomo, I know you guys had a top pick in the draft this year, picked up Alex Sarr, but you also got a couple other rookies. I'm gonna let you go ahead and just give me your expectations on what you think your rookie's gonna bring to this team.
Well, this is the one time me and Mark may have some agreements. I'm gonna just say this. Look, if Alex Saad does have the JD effect on the Wizards, all I'm gonna say is I'm gonna go back to that unfazed episode where AJ and JJ wanted to laugh me out by saying my man was gonna be rookie of the year. So I will say that. Also, if Alex Saad does have that type of there you go. I told you. And y'all see the name. So I'm gonna stop for a second because we got to let the worst team go first. I'm sorry. That's my neighbor, but we gotta let the worst team go first, man.
All right, so I'm gonna introduce them. We got our guy CTC Carl stepping in.
How y'all boys doing? I don't shots my neighbor through. We might have to have an HOA meeting for real.
He already said y'all was gonna have an HOA meeting because you waited on it.
Before you got it.
That's what I said. We might have to have one for real.
Hey man, I'm glad you was able to make it though. I know your guys in the heated battle right now with the Pacers. Y'all doing y'all thing. Y'all look, you called it. You said y'all gonna be a little more competitive. So we got our boy Carl here to represent the Pistons. So, we was gonna start from the bottom and work our way up. So Carl, I'm gonna start with you. Y'all were the worst in the East last year.
Not the East.
Well, I'm just gonna say the East for you. I try to make it sound better for you, dang, girl.
No me, bro. Don't sugarcoat nothing. We was the worst in the NBA.
They was all right. They was the worst in the world, Craig. Worst in the world. So I want you to let me know because y'all also got a top draft pick. You got a couple of decent picks that you were excited about, and I want you to give me your expectations on what you think your rookies are going to bring for your team.
Okay, so early on, I really don't expect much from our rookies because our team itself is kind of young with Cade, Beef Stew, Jalen Duran. Malik Beasley's not really old to me. I think I know I heard in the press conference through Twitter, I heard a clip where he was like they was calling him Unc. Like Malik Beasley's not that old. I still consider Malik Beasley young. So I think we have a pretty young team right now. Cade got his extension. So I think the rookies are going to develop and then come along later. That's what I really expect for real. I expect them to come along later as the season progresses. I like Ron Holland. I didn't like the fit, but I like the player. And maybe we tailor towards him. I know they've been trying to work on the 3-ball with him. Now, Bobby Klintman is a guy I really like as a big that can pass. He can shoot. He actually got a little handle to him a little bit. So I like Bobby Klintman a lot as the second-round pick. I seen him at Wake Forest a little bit before he decided to not go to the draft the year prior and go overseas and do some little developmental thing overseas. But I like that pick. So like I said, for my young guys, I just expect us to develop as the season progresses, and then as the season progresses, get more and more burn and work their way in.
Okay. So, Ron Holland. Okay, I know when you first got him, you were making a fuss because you felt like he was the same as Thompson, the same type of player as Thompson. So I kind of want you to tell me, it seems like you guys are racking up on a lot of players, trying to figure out who is going to be those guys that's going to be the ones to take you to the promised land, the ones that you can build around. Because, as a Magic fan, we literally just did that. Like, literally drafted a whole rack of good players, and we finally found the guys because you just seen recently we just locked everybody up with contracts. So I want you to tell me what do you think y'all got cooking up? Like, to talk to me about like what would you like to see y'all do to get better, to get to that next level?
So I like the fact that we are looking for defenders because defense has been horrendous in Detroit for quite some time now. So I do like the fact that we're looking for wing defenders and defenders, period. I do like the fact that we went and signed some shooting. Like I said, Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway. We did go get some shooters. Simone, I always pronounce his name wrong, Fontecchio, I think, came over from Utah. Another shooter. So I do like that. I do like the fact that we paid Cade. I think he definitely can lead this team. Sasser's another shooter we drafted the year prior. So I do like that we're looking for shooting and defense because, in my opinion, that's something Pistons have severely lacked for a while now. So I think we're looking for the guys who can actually consistently make shots and play defense and build a foundation through that.
Okay. Now, I do like a lot of pickups that y'all did make. You know, I do like the Tobias Harris pickup, Tim Hardaway Jr. pickup. Like, those, I think, are my two favorite pickups for y'all because it gives Cade some veteran scoring. You know, guys that have shown to be reliable scorers. Not guys that average 30 or nothing, but Tobias has averaged 20 in this league. You know, Tim Hardaway Jr. has had a stretch being like the number 2 scorer on the team, things like that. So they are bringing that, you know, to the table. So, all right, this is what I want to really hear from you. Because, you know, last year you was very down on your team and you didn't really have no expectations. So what do you really expect from your team this year? Like, give me a record and just give me, you know, what would be a good year for you? Like, we accomplished something this year, you know?
Okay, so a good year for me. I'm gonna give you what I expect, and I'm gonna give you if everything goes perfect. So good year for me is 30 and 52 to 35 and 47. In that range, I think that's a good year, especially coming off a 17-win season. Not 17-win season. I think we had a 14-win season. Coming off a 14-win season, that's a huge improvement. That's a 16 to 21 game increase. So I think that's a really good season. Now, if everything perfect, I think 41 and 41 is absolutely incredible. That's a quick turnaround. That can be play-in material. So if everything's perfect, I like 41 and 41. Like I said, man, I think this Pistons team is going to be really competitive. I know at first I kind of cried about the Tobias pickup. It wasn't more so about Tobias. It was more so the money we paid Tobias. But then I actually thought about it. One, who are we actually going to pay? Two, it gives an off-ball scorer that Cade needs. It gives us a guy that we don't have to rely so much on Cade to just go get a bucket. We got another guy where Cade can just give him the ball, let him work, and he can go get a bucket himself. So I do like that pickup, like you said. I like the fact that y'all know I didn't want Monty Williams. Y'all know that I didn't want him. In fact, we went after a guy like JB Bickerstaff, who, in my opinion, quite quickly changed the Cavaliers. When they got Donovan Mitchell, they brought in Darius Garland. I think he was a big reason why the Cavaliers was able to make that turnaround with those guys. So I think he brings that with us. I think JB Bickerstaff at times he gets fired kind of for, in my opinion, it's like a scapegoatish firing. So I think coming to Detroit with a fresh start, young guys, bringing in his foundation, he's laying his foundation, bringing in his culture. I think that's my expectations. 30 to 35 wins. I think that's a really solid season for us.
Okay. All right. So I appreciate that. You know, I like you have a little more hope than last year. Because last year, man. But
I know I just keep it real, bro.
It was what it was, though. So it was worse than you thought it was going to be, though. But
exactly.
It was bad, though. So, Tomo, if you had any advice to give your neighbor, you know, what would it be? You know, a Wizard organization speaking to a Piston organization.
And it better not be go get a Wizard.
I wasn't going to say that. But I was going to start off by saying we're neighbors. I mean, once you said 14, I was like, 14 games? But my advice would be, I like JB Bickerstaff. I was a little upset when he did get fired because I always call JB Bickerstaff the good twin versus Wes Unseld that we had here with the Wizards, because a lot of people think they would look alike, and also the teams was kind of on the same trajectory. However, the Cavs when they got an All-Star versus the Wizards when they got Jordan Poole. But that's neither here nor there. So for me, I don't know, Carl. I think we might be switching seats this year. So I think Carl might have to give me some advice because I'm not that big on my team this year. But I got a little bit of hope. So he got more hope than me. So, Carl, how should I feel going into the season?
Oh,
it sounds like you leaving the neighborhood.
Can I get this update?
Go ahead.
Pistons win. I told y'all. I told y'all we were going to win.
Hey, if you watched RBO earlier today, I also picked the Pistons live on RBO.
I told y'all. I told Ty. I know Javon was trying to stir the pot. I said, Ty ain't going to say nothing but the Pistons trash, but we won't beat them. And I kept telling Ty, we're going to beat y'all. And we won.
Okay, Dave. Okay, now you are a team that's on the other side of the fence, you know, on the other side. I'm gonna say the borderline. Let me say that because you're in a different neighborhood. You know, they like in I ain't gonna do that. So what is
two
your
of us on here?
What advice would you give the Pistons, man? Just the Pistons team, you know.
I can only say something that someone from Heat culture would say is just make sure that there's a culture there that is consistent. Consistent when it comes to I'm talking to Carl like he the head coach, but
wait, hold on, time out. My bad. ESPN tripping. Now it's saying 7 minutes left. It just said end of fourth quarter, 199. Now it's saying 7 minutes left.
Ty definitely showed up for you, but
I just looked. I'm like, bro, what?
No,
it says 0 seconds. I'm looking
it's
right
still
at
going,
it.
It's still going on. It's 6 minutes left.
I see end of fourth too.
That's crazy. Now I look stupid.
The ESPN app tripping.
It is.
It's been tripping all night.
Well, that's what you got Dave Shefty for. I ain't ESPN. I do everything. But
there it is.
Honestly, I like what y'all did. Now I think we definitely had a back and forth about Monty Williams being fired. I felt like he got fired a little too early. Only gave him one season to really do anything, and he didn't have much to work with. But I do like to hire JB Bickerstaff because I agree that he changed a lot in Cleveland. I don't think Cleveland's going to be the same without him. I feel like they made a bad decision by firing him, and I think y'all lucked up. Y'all not lucked up, but y'all did the right thing by putting someone in place in Detroit that can change the culture, and it's somebody that I feel like the players are going to respect. And I was watching how the Pistons were playing in the preseason, and they're playing a lot more effort, defensively, offensively. K is really out there looking like a leader right now. And I feel like they're doing whatever they can to get the monkey off their back. So just be confident in your team. That's the only thing I can say. And you seem more confident now than you were last year. So you doing what you should be doing, honestly. And troll all you want. That's all I can say. I know you're gonna do it anyway, but troll all you want.
I'm here
the
for
neighborhood built on.
And as a Magic fan, you know, I just moved out the neighborhood just recently, and I agree with Dave. You feel me? I feel like we all have a general theme, and our answer is JB Bickerstaff. I feel like he's a really good coach. You seen what he did last year with Cleveland. They was injured all year, and they still finished number 4 in the East. So he still was able to get wins, get the most out of their players. So, and y'all doing the right things, getting shooters around K, like you said, veteran scorers. I'm a huge fan of Jalen Duran. That's my guy. I feel like he's going to be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate for years to come in the future. So you got a lot of upside. This is what I was hoping to see last year, you know. But y'all didn't have the other pieces in play. But that's hard for the Pistons, though. The Pistons, they just might be moving on up, man. Just might be moving on up.
Man, it'd be great for the city.
For sure. All right, that's the Pistons, man. I'll be about to talk to your neighbor right quick, man. You know, I know y'all in the same neighborhood. Y'all done grew up together, you know, all that stuff.
Hold up. You just left, so we grew up together too. What you saying?
I'm about to say, hold on, time out.
I'm talking about child though right now.
Ron graduated early. That's all it was. He graduated.
We moved back to the neighborhood because I mean, 04, we got a ring.
Yeah, they was living good. I mean, I was in the playoffs. Like I had playoff runs. Like I don't know what y'all talking about.
All right, my bad. You know, I having a little fun, guys. You know, but you know, the Wizards. I am a huge advocate for the Wizards because me being a home guy, I love to see the Wizards do good. But let's get back to the Wizards, Tomo. We were talking about your rookies. You know, you guys drafted Alex Sarr early in the draft. So let me know what you think about Alex Sarr and your other rookies. What are they going to bring for you guys?
All right, so I'm gonna be honest, right? I'm gonna be honest on air because I was honest in the chats. I was like, man, what are we doing here? I wanted them to trade the pick. You can go back to actual episodes of Refuse to Lose prior to. I was like, just trade the pick and go do something else with it. Obviously, the new regime didn't want to do that, so they said, let's go in with Alex Saw and we're gonna build around him. However, it was the other picks that was in the draft that actually made me be like, we on to something. And shout out to my neighbor for letting me know who Bub Carrington is. I was like, oh, all right, let me go check out some of his highlights. Watching him in the summer league and everything, and he was balling. I said, oh, this might be my new favorite Wizard. And he from a B-more too. So I was like, that's a hometown hero for me. You know, the missus ain't get Angel Reese, but we got Bub. So I mean, it's close. It's close. And then I ain't gonna leave you out, Dave. Your boy from the U, Keyshawn George. I think I'm all I'm gonna say is that old regime. I'm gonna start feeling like marking them. That old regime did not know what they was doing when they was drafting. I did not look forward to the NBA draft when it came to that old regime. But with this new front office, they went and found pieces to actually try to build something. I was actually high on Bilal last year too. But let me get back to Alex Saw. I think Alex Saw pulling a Jamar Chase. He's like, I'm gonna look bad in the summer league, so that way everybody can lay off me when I go out there in the real games and give them what I really need. Hopefully, that's what he was doing. However, if he don't do that, this year right here is going to be a year of defense and him learning. Now, a lot of people got a lot of jokes to say about Kyle Kuzma and just the things that he do in his antics. But when it comes to like him being a leader and a veteran in that locker room, a lot of the players look up to him and listen to him. When Denny got traded for Malcolm Brogdon, Denny was like, once Kuzma got here, life was great for me. He actually helped me become a better player. Him and Russ. I'm gonna say shout out to Russ too. So him being around Kuzma, I think Poole is also trying to find his way now within the league. I think it's gonna be a good thing, and I still think he could win Rookie of the Year. That's the selling for me.
Okay. So, what's the other guy? That so I see I also picked up. Isn't this his first year, Jared Butler, or his second year?
No, Jared Butler was on that national championship team.
That's what I'm getting him confused with the other guy they just had on Baylor. The other baller. They just had a nice player on their team.
Nah, did he go to the draft? I think he stayed.
But he's like
Jalen Bridges. I think you ain't talking about Jalen Bridges.
I'll get the name by the end of the show.
I'm trying to think of the point guard left right now.
Okay, so Alex Sarr. All right. One thing I can say about Alex Sarr, I think, like you said, that defense is what he's really going to bring for y'all this year. That shot blocking, because that's the one thing that he's consistent with since summer league. Like you seen him blocking shots. The three ball don't look so good right now. However, I feel like the more he shoots, the more he gets acclimated out there, he will be able to, take better shots, especially playing with the starters. In the summer league, you playing with all the guys that's trying to make the team, so they try and get theirs too. Preseason, it's a little bit of the same thing because you got a lot of guys that don't really get minutes trying to get minutes. So I feel like once the season really starts, I think that's when he really will, couple games in, it just falls on your two guys that it seems like you got a lot of faith in them, and Kuzma as far as leadership, So
I'm just sharing what I heard from the locker room from when he first got here to how people gravitated to Kuzma versus when Bill was in the locker room. Like a lot of people started looking up to Kuz, and he was just doing all the right things. Like when we got Porzingis, they say Kuzma was the first one to call him and say, "Man, welcome to the team." Say Brad was still trying to find a way to like text him. Like Kuzma doing that, he like, man, it's my franchise. Have fun in Phoenix, Brad.
All right, so like we just said, you guys got new ownership, new coach. Talk to me about what moves would you like to see? What are you expecting from this franchise?
Well, again, the head coach situation, I was like, man, why Sam Cassell can't get a shot? Like, just give Sam Cassell a shot. I think Sam Cassell will be a good head coach, but that's neither here nor there. So, in the words of my man Blaze, let it go, Tombo. So Brian Keefe comes in. He re-sparks something in Jordan Poole, because I remember that episode of RBO where he was like, man, him coming off the bench. Brian Keefe said, look, if you're not going to start and give us no effort, you're going to have to come off the bench. And that's when he started getting back to his Jordan Poole ways, when he started shooting threes with more confidence, going to the basket and everything like that. Now, when it comes to moves that need to be made, I think we in a rebuild. Well, I don't think we in a rebuild. We actually are in a rebuild, but they got so many young players that they want to believe in that who they gonna trade for to get draft capital. I know they went and got Malcolm Brogdon, like I said earlier. We got Jonas Valanciunas. We just re-signed Corey Kispert. We got Sadiq Bey. He coming off the ACL injury. So I think two of these players gonna get flipped at some point. Let me hold on one second. Teddy, you better not lose tomorrow. That's all I'm gonna say.
Looks
You
like my
better
Pistons
not
about to
lose.
lose.
You better
I
not. All right.
can't believe ESPN set me up like that.
Yeah, the Knicks was tired from training camp. That's why they let y'all shoot all them threes last night. All right. That's a different ball game over here. Some youngins here. All right. Y'all might take the night off when we get that dub. But back to what I was saying. I think they just really gonna keep doing what they did with the OKC culture and with the Clippers culture, because both of these guys, Michael Winger and Brian, I'll say Brian Dawkins. What's my man name? Will Dawkins. They both come from those rebuilds. So I think they're just gonna keep trying to find ways to trade pieces, get multiple draft capital, and then turn that into something spectacular. So I don't know if it's gonna happen this year, maybe next year. But right now, just develop the young core. Let the youngest go out there, ball, see what you can get out of Kuzma for another year. You trade them, cool. You keep them. I'm cool with that too. Same thing with Jordan Poole.
Okay. Okay. Jordan Poole, I think, is a big key for y'all because he's like that guy that can go off,
Yeah.
And y'all need somebody like that because look what Mark's saying. I want a star player, and he's one of the guy on your team that brings that star player feeling to your team. Like Kuzma is nice. Don't get me wrong, but Jordan Poole is like way more exciting, and he just wows you a lot more, gives you that star feeling. So I think he's a big piece for y'all this year, and I'm very excited to see how y'all gonna look out there with y'all new coach and things like that. So let me know what you think y'all record gonna be like. What like I just asked Carl, what's a good year to you for the Wizards?
Well, we won, like Carl said, we won 15 games. I really don't expect too much from this team, especially from a franchise that hasn't won 60 games since like 74, 75. A good season for me is 20 to 25 wins. That's my ceiling. I mean, a great season was, I'm with Carl. If they went 40 plus games, I'm gonna be like, whoa, I did not expect this from this roster. But 20 to 25, because again, they still rebuilding. So it's gonna be nice where they just like, you know what? We don't care. Y'all do y'all thing. So yeah, 20 to 25, 40. If we playing for a play-in, prepare to be sick of me. That's all I'm gonna say.
Facts.
Joe, I think so. Joe said, can Jordan Poole average 20 plus this year? I think so.
Also, to step in real quick, if you was talking about Jacoby Walter, he went to the Raptors. I don't know if Ray J. Dennis got drafted or picked up, but those are like the only two players I could think of for Baylor.
Okay. So 20 to 25 wins. That's not bad. But you got your fellow Wizard in the comments. He want a little bit more than that.
Hey, look, man. There's different fans amongst the fan base. That's all I'm gonna say. You want 35? I wouldn't be mad at 35, but you just show me how we gonna get 35.
Right, I feel you. It is. Well, all right. It's a bonus question for you because this. I'm excited about this guy here, and that's Bilal.
Oh, that's my
Give
boy.
me. Yeah, I know that's your guy, so I want you to just talk about him for a second. Right quick.
See, when we first got Bilal, I kind of hyped him a little bit. I was like, man, he can be better than that number one freaking nature they got down there with the Spurs. Just that's only because they was teammates. But as the season progressed, Bilal showed that he could actually shoot. He could play some defense. Before he got hurt, his game was inclining. He was on the rise, and then he got hurt. But what I think Bilal is really going to bring to this team again is the same thing that you say about Jordan Poole, but it's going to be like on a step down. He's going to bring that energy that we want ball every night. Like I'm just Jimmy Butler-esque. I think that's what he's going to bring to this team, which is like 3-and-D. I'm here to ball, and I don't know no French words to say anything else, but yeah, chef's kiss.
Okay. Yeah, I like him too. I think the defense is the best thing I like about him. It's upside on that side of the ball for sure.
Yep.
Okay, okay. All right, same thing, fellas. I want y'all holler at your boy Tomo right quick, man. I want you to let him know, you know, I'm gonna give him y'all thoughts on Alex Saw. What's y'all thoughts on Alex Saw? Dave, talk to me first.
Uh, for me, it's yet to be determined. I want to see what he does in the regular season. I don't really take summer league or preseason to much thought unless someone's putting up 40 or 50 points in the preseason. That's when you have to pay attention. But if he's playing bad or he's playing okay, I don't pay that much attention. I want to see how he does in like the first 5 to 10 games. That'll tell me what his potential is, as far as how he can contribute to the Wizards this season, as a rookie. I'm more so excited to see what Bilal is going to do. I know Tom talked a lot about him last year. I liked what he did last year as well. Um, how he came into great shape in the offseason, and he's looking to build on what he did last year and have a better second year. There's it's not really any second year slumps for basketball players in the NBA. That's more so sophomore slumps in football. So I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that when it comes to Bilal. I also want to see exactly what's going to happen with Poole and Kuzma. Like, how are they going to mesh together this year? How is Brian Keefe going to be able to get this team to play together to get to 20 plus wins this year? Um, but I think the rookie is going to be. I think he's going to be okay. For me, like I said, it's yet to be determined to what he's capable of. But I think he's going to be okay. I don't think he's going to be absolutely terrible. But I think he's going to be okay. He may be just a serviceable player in the NBA, and that's fine. You just don't want him to be a bust. And I don't think he will be that. He didn't show me that he'll be a bust. Although he did not play well in the summer league, but he played a little bit better in preseason. So let's see what happens in the regular season. That's all I can really say about the Rook.
I'll say this. I know everybody giving him a bad rap for the summer league he's had. I mean, in my opinion, not everybody's going to pop. Not everybody's going to come out the gate swinging. I mean, even like I know you brought up Wemby. Wemby's first game was not great. Now you can see things while Wemby played the first game that make you go, "Oh, okay, I see why everybody's so high on Wemby." But if we remember correctly, he did not shoot well in that game. The second game he did play better, but he didn't play. I don't remember him playing most of it. I think he did play the 2 games, and the Spurs was like, "You're done." So who knows? He could have looked even worse in the summer league. But I say all that to say we see the NBA season that he had, and it was really good. And a lot of people say he got robbed of DPOY. So take summer league, like Dave said, with a grain of salt. It's for development. It's for guys trying to make training camps, overseas rosters, things like that. And I wouldn't say 5 to 10 because I feel like that's a short sample size. I would go, let's see how he looks in his first 20, 25 games. If he's looking not good, okay, maybe it's time to wonder a little bit. If you see progression or development, then hey, you might got something. And now, I will say this. If it doesn't pan out and you're at the bottom of the league again, at least you ain't the Pistons. You ain't going to keep getting the 5th pick in the draft. You're going to get a high one.
Yeah, y'all are the magical 5th picking team every year. All right, here's what I gotta say about him. Man, I think at worst, y'all got y'all elite shot blocker, like I said, man. At worst. And at the end of the day, you'll take that. If he ends up just being a really good shot blocker and a guy that can hit a three, he's not a superstar, but he can block shots really good, rebound, stretch the floor. That's a win if you ask me. There's not too many bigs out there that consistently does that at a high level. It's so many teams looking for that. It's like that's like the prototype big that everybody wants. So I think at the end of the day, that's what y'all are going to get. To be honest, I think y'all hit on the nose. Only thing that would make me not think that is if I didn't think he had good work ethic. And from what I've seen and heard, he works pretty hard. So we're going to see, like Dave said, like Carl said, after 5 games, and then after 20 games, and then midway, and as he keep going. But I think y'all got y'all a nice elite shot blocker for sure.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it. Hey, if he could be like a step below Porzingis, I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, for sure. because with everybody saying in the draft, it wasn't too many superstars, a lot of really good role players. So
Yeah.
if you get a really good role player, you won.
Yeah.
see.
Yeah,
That's
this draft coming up, you'll see more star players in this draft coming up.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who's in this draft besides Cooper Flag, to be honest.
I see some potential guys that I think will be starters in the league.
Yeah, this one guy, I forgot what school he played for. I gotta figure it out. I'll be on CTC soon though.
I'm gonna say college basketball November 4th.
Yes, sir. I'll be on there.
Go Turtles.
All right.
6 straight losses.
Miami, right?
Yes, sir. We about to go ahead, take this flight down South Beach and talk about this Miami Heat team. I know Dave has been waiting to talk about his squad. This Miami Heat team, man. Woo. This is the team you can never count out, man. The team that always has a shot. You know, that Heat. It's that Heat culture. It's just something about that Heat culture. You know, and I just, you know, like Dave said, we're planning right now to score.
Y'all blowing us out.
I think
Y'all blowing us out
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all blowing us out right now.
Yeah, Suggs just hit a 3. Ooh. So let's talk about this Heat team, man. You know, last year wasn't the best. You guys made it to the playoffs through the play-in, and then you know you took an L, had injuries though, per usual. So I want you to know, talk to your boy. Let me know what are your well, actually, instead of talking about your expectations, you know, I was a little stunned today. I wanted to say because as I'm watching the game, I am very high on y'all center that y'all drafted. I like him a lot.
My
I
guy.
think that he's gonna have a lot of potential, a lot of I think he's gonna be really good for y'all. But as I'm watching the game, Bam goes out, and where it doesn't come in, it's Thomas Bryant. So it's like, whoa, what's going on here? So, what's your expectations that you have for your team with this guy? Do you think that it's just gonna be him on the bench? Does he have to wait for Bam to get hurt or y'all to blow somebody out for him to get some minutes? Like, what's going on?
This is one of the reasons I love Spo. I love Spo more than I love Kyle Shanahan. Y'all know how I feel about Kyle. I thought he should have been fired last year if we didn't make it to the Super Bowl. So y'all know how I feel about Kyle Shanahan. Spo, I will defend to the end of the depths. This is an issue. This is probably the biggest issue I have with Spo. When we have young guys who can come and contribute, he does not play them immediately. He waits until late in the season to really give them some play. Other than Dwayne Wade, but if you think about it, Dwayne Wade, Spo wasn't the coach. That was Stan Van Gundy. Stan Van Gundy was the coach, and then you had Pat Riley that was there. So you had two other guys, two vet coaches that gave him an opportunity, and then he was the number 3 overall pick. I mean, you're not gonna not have him come in and play on the game. But if you look at Bam Adebayo when he got drafted, he didn't play minutes when he got drafted. If you look at Beasley played immediately, so I can't count Beasley. But if you look at all the other guys, Justice Winslow, Josh Richardson, unless when they had to be out there, they didn't get a lot of minutes. And that's an issue that Spo has sometimes. He will have talent on the team, and he does not show them until later on the season when they could have contributed immediately. Khalil Ware showed me, at least, in college when he played at Indiana and when he played in the summer league and in the preseason that he can contribute right now. So I think that's the one thing that befuddles my mind right now is why is he 4th? He's not 3rd. He's 4th on the depth chart as a center. So you have Bam, Thomas Bryant, Kevin Love, then Khalil Ware. So that's the one thing that doesn't make sense to me is why does he have him there at that spot? Why is he 4th? I don't understand it. I think he contributes a lot more than Kevin Love and Thomas Bryant at this moment on both ends of the floor. Now, oh, yeah, I saw that. Carl, sorry.
I know. I already said in the chat. I gotta face the music, brother.
Hey, shout out to my boy Ty with the 2.199 super chat. Carl, what happened? Hashtag Pistons winless October.
Tell you what happened. ESPN app set me up, man. Set me up. That's like legit said end of fourth quarter, 100-99, bro. I was like, we won. But I said in the chat, I gotta face the music. The app set me up, but I ain't dugging it. We lost. I really thought we would win the game. We lost. It sucks. I ain't gonna lie. I'm sick behind this one, but it is what it is.
Carl sound like the real end of the game interview.
He asked. Hey, we gotta give him what he asked for. He paid for it.
That's right. Shit, I mean, at least y'all not getting blown out right now. You know, Miami
It's
just
true.
seems to be.
If there's any more victory,
There you go. But yeah, Spo confuses me a lot when it comes to that. Even guys that aren't young, guys that I feel like that can contribute a lot better than someone else. Like there were times where Tyler Hero wasn't playing well, and I'm like, dude, you got somebody else on the bench that can help. Caleb Martin is on the bench sitting down when you got Tyler Hero playing more minutes than him, and he's doing more when he's out there. Like that's one of the things that confuses me that Spo does. But I'm hoping that he gives him an opportunity to play early. Like I'm saying, like within the first 15 to 20 games, you'll see him play more minutes than Thomas Bryant and Kevin Love, and then he'll get to play more time as the season goes on. But if not, then I'm just going to expect another season of Miami doing what Miami does and trying to find a way to struggle when we don't have to, just to prove a point. So that's kind of what I expect from Khalil Ware. For me, it just depends on what Spo does with him. If Spo thinks that he can contribute now, then he'll be out there. But if Spo doesn't think so, then he's going to have him fourth on the depth chart like he does right now, which doesn't make sense to me.
who's in front of him?
Yeah, I want to ask.
Kevin Love and Thomas Bryant.
Wow.
At the 5?
Yes.
Kevin Love?
Yes.
Love.
Buddy Love? No.
I kid you not. It doesn't make any sense right now. It really doesn't. But that's Spo. Spo does that a lot. He's if you look at his history, he's done that often. I just don't get it.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is everybody, even you, like we need a stretch big that can rebound still and like block shots. But
this is what I've been asking for forever. We finally got it, and we're not using it.
Bam can move to the 4. It's like
That's
it's beautiful. It was perfect, but that's weird, man. And not so good first game, but it's only first game.
Yeah,
82 game season. But
I honestly expected us to start slow in the beginning of the season anyway, being as though 3 of our players were hurt during the playoffs, and it took them a while to be able to be there in the off season. So I kind of expected to be a little slow. Plus once I saw the depth chart and where it was, I said, yeah, this the beginning of the season ain't gonna be what I determined everything from.
Facts. So what do you expect from your team? I want you to give me a good Heat season. Y'all been injured recent years, well, especially last year. Y'all picked up Rozier, and then it's like I was excited for that guy.
Man,
And y'all got out first round. So talk to me, man. What's your expectations?
So my expectations this year, I'm gonna give you the floor, the ceiling, the floor, and then my expectations. So ceiling, I'll say we can get the 54 wins, and that's with Jimmy playing lights out. Jimmy got to play lights out, and then Khalil, we're going to have to do that. Bam's going to have a defensive player of the year, kind of a year. Tyler Hero's going to have a year like he did when he won 6 man a year, and Terry Rozier is going to just do his thing. That's the ceiling for me. Floor is winning 42 games, fighting in the play-in again. That's the floor. But my expectations is that we won't be in the play-in this year. We'll be at least a 6 seed. I'm expecting us to at least win 44 to 47 games. I think that'll put us in that part where we won't have to worry about being in that part right now. So, 5th seed, I'll take that. I'll take 5th seed in the East. At least that we don't have to worry about the play-in tournament. But that's something that I expect a lot more. This is a Jimmy Butler contract year. He said he's going to be serious, even though he don't look like it right now. But I take Jimmy serious when he says he's serious. If you look at when Jimmy takes the game serious, he's one of the best players in the NBA. You saw it in the playoffs multiple times. So if he comes to play like playoff Jimmy, I expect us to be where we should be. And if you look at the top teams in the East from what everyone says on paper, you got the Bucks, you got the Magic, you got the 76ers, Boston, and you got the Knicks. Those are the 5 teams that just about everyone's pretty much going to pick over us. There may be 2 or 3 teams out of that, and maybe even the Cavs, of course. But there's maybe 2 or 3 teams out of that I feel like we can catch. So if Jimmy plays the way he can and everyone else is healthy and everything like that, I feel like we can at least get to 44 to 47 wins this year and not have to worry about being in the playing tournament. I'm not expecting the MVP type season for Jimmy. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm not going to be that delusional of a fan to say Jimmy will be MVP this year. That's just not me. Y'all know me. I'm a realist when it comes to all my teams, especially my pro teams. So I'm expecting Jimmy to average maybe at least 25 points per game this year. His highest is 22. I'm just giving him three points over that, 3 ticks over that. So I'm not expecting a huge bump, but Bam, like I said, I expect him to average a double-double this year, to be one of the best defenders in the league, as always, being a defensive player in the year conversation. This season, I'm really more so focused on Terry Rozier. I think he will be the key to this team if he's able to be healthy and play his game. If Spo allows him to play his game, be one-on-one and be a facilitator, because he has the capabilities to be a facilitator. He's shown that multiple times. I think this team can be scary if we get into, the 5th or 6th seed.
Oh, so you think y'all can be scary with Terry, huh? Okay.
Oh yeah.
I can dig it. I can dig it for sure. All right, so I got a question. I want to ask all 3 of y'all this. I want to start with the non-Heat fans first, though. Okay. Then I want to let Dave let us know what he think. Fellas, what do y'all think would be the biggest downfall for the Heat if, like, for them not to even exceed the expectations? What Dave wants, like last year it was injury. Even if they're healthy, like a healthy Heat team, what do y'all think? Let me say it like this: a healthy Heat team. What do y'all think a healthy Heat team can do? And if it's not win it all, what is holding them back from winning it all? I can start. You want to start, Carl? Seem like you ready to go.
I mean, go ahead. Do your thing.
All right, I can start. So,
Petty, man.
So a healthy Heat team to me, I think a healthy Heat team can make it to the finals. Now, win the finals is a different conversation because the West teams are totally different than these East teams. Now, people are gonna say, "What about the Celtics? What about the Celtics?" This has been the Bengals to the Chiefs for the Celtics. Like this is the one team that has shown that they can beat them. Not just one time; they've beat them numerous times in the playoffs, regular season, whatever. So I feel like healthy, they can make it to the final. I think that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate ceiling. I don't think that they have that player though that can get them over the hump in the finals because that West team is gonna have that player. Whoever making on the West is gonna have that player. Luka, Jokic, you even Ant, I don't think that he has that player. That's the only thing, and the reason why I think they won't win the championship.
So when you asked this question, I see your answer wasn't internally. I thought you was meaning internally. Let's see. I think if they're healthy, I don't think they take the regular season serious. I think lack of motivation would fit in the regular season. Would kind of be a downfall because you always get a lower seed because of that. Like you said, they be fighting through the play-in. Then that leads to either a 7 or 8 seed, and now you're fighting against 1 and 2 seeds. than possibly a 3 or 4. You get what I'm saying? You're fighting an uphill battle instead of trying to fight a downhill battle by not taking the regular season serious. I too think they can make the finals. I do too think that they are somewhat kryptonite of the Celtics. Now, the Celtics team is better. It is better, but even those Heat teams that have beaten the Celtics in the past, I don't think anyone up here would say those Heat teams were better than the Celtics. So it is possible that the Heat can still beat the Celtics. I agree with Javon. I don't think that they win the finals if they make it. It's just like you said, if Jokic made it, we've seen the Nuggets Heat finals. They had no answer for Jokic. Ant-Man, if he makes it, he's going to be a tough defensive task for people. You pair Ant-Man. I know Gobert gets a lot of slack, but he's still a tall, lanky body to deal with. And you pair that with Julius Randle. I mean, Julius Randle, we all know how he can be as a number 1 in the playoffs, but he's not like a 2 or 3 on the Timberwolves. So he's not your number 1 scoring option. It's just, and then they got shooters around them as well. You could go against a Luka. They go against a Luka. I don't think they have an answer for Luka. You go against a Shea. I don't think they have an answer for Shea. So I think the West is loaded with too much star power for the Heat if they do make it to the finals. But it's just always that uphill battle of facing higher seeds, in my opinion, that holds them back.
Okay, that's a good one.
Okay.
I don't know, Carl. They see OKC or the Mavericks, they might got a shot. I mean, I know Clay is over there, but again, that Jimmy Butler gonna kick in, and you can like, all right, if I could take Luka away, or maybe Kyrie on a good night, you still got Terry Rozier. I don't know. That would be a good matchup. I would like to see it, especially with Spo and how he probably scheme it up. Now with the Nuggets and Timberwolves, I could see that because that's more firepower. But I don't know. I could see him doing that. Now I think we all gonna agree, and we all can say the same thing. This Heat team can make the finals. Like they can do it. But the thing that's gonna hold them back, and I was with you, Carl, I was thinking more so internally, is Pat Riley. It's between Pat Riley and what Tyler Hero gonna give you. Now, if Pat Riley sees the roster that you got, and it's like, all right, if somebody's out there and he can go get them, don't fall asleep at the trade deadline, like my man Dave said. But outside of that, if this team is clicking and they firing, I agree with stop taking the regular season so lightly. But then again, that goes back to Spo, and that also goes back to what Spo was doing with Khalil Ware. He's probably just trying things out at this point. He's like, what can I get from these vets at this point? Because it's early in the season. I know their legs won't get tired, so let me bring the young buck in. But technically, because of where y'all at with the seeding, you trying to bring the young buck in, and now we falling in the standings. So it's a battle within. Technically, you should start it off early. So for me, the Miami Heat battle is within. They beat themselves. Other than that, they solid. And also, I don't know if y'all can y'all hear it. Did y'all hear the bleep?
Yeah.
All right, bleep Boston. The words of Jimmy Butler.
All right, so I hear everything that everybody said. I just disagree with this point. I heard y'all say we don't have that player that can get us a championship. The player we have is the guy that's in the contract year. He's shown multiple times that he can be that guy. I understand that we lost the finals in the bubble to the Lakers. But do you remember what he did in the finals without Bam Adebayo and without Goran Dragic? Who was the leading scorer in the playoff team that year?
40-point trip dub.
Jimmy Butler was balling in the finals. The only thing is he didn't have someone else there to help him out. Bam came back. He was injured. And then the last game is when Goran Dragic came back. But it wasn't much he could really do. Then against the finals against the Nuggets, just a series before that, Jimmy Butler messed his ankle up. I think if Jimmy Butler is healthy, this team is healthy, we can win it all. Not that we can just get there. We can win it all. The injuries have been one of the biggest reasons why we can't win a championship, because we either have someone else hurt. If you look at when we even the road to the finals when we beat the Celtics, Tyler Hero got hurt. Then you had Victor Oladipo who got hurt. You had someone else that got hurt. Last year we had Jimmy Butler that was out in the series against the Celtics. Jaime Jaquez got hurt in that series. Terry Rozier didn't play in that series. Duncan Robinson was limping throughout the entire series. The guy that we had that everyone looked at was Tyler Hero, and he just got back from injury. So I think that we are very capable of winning it. Now, if you want to say how I think that we fail, it's for pretty much all the reasons that y'all said as well. When it comes to Pat Riley, not being able to make moves when we needed the most, or not making the moves that make sense. If you look at this offseason, other than drafting Khalil Ware and Pele Larson, and getting a couple guys from the summer league contracts, all we did was re-sign Kevin Love, re-sign Thomas Bryant, and sign Nasir Little right before the season started. So that's not much. That's not competing against the East. When you look at the 76ers when they got Caleb Martin off of our bench, they went and got Caleb Martin. They went and got Eric Gordon. They got PG. Even though he's not playing right now, they made moves. You look at the Knicks; they went and traded for Karl Anthony Towns. They got Mikal Bridges. They're every one of the East is making moves. The Orlando Magic, they went and signed KCP. Everyone is making moves except for the team that was injured last year that just made it to the NBA Finals 2 seasons before. So that's one thing. The other thing is Spo. Like I said earlier, Spo not playing the young guys when we need them. And then health. If we're not healthy and we're not taking it serious, we're going to be the same team we were the last 2 years, fighting in the play-in tournament and hoping that we get to that Jimmy Butler just goes crazy in the first round and is able to beat a Celtics, a Bucks, or a 76ers team from whoever is the 1 or 2 seed. Just Jimmy has to go crazy. That's just pretty much for me, that's one of the reasons that upsets me about Pat Riley is because you see what Jimmy Butler is going through in these playoffs, not having another guy that can score like he can or can do what he does. Bam has not been consistent because you have him at a 6'9" guy at center. He's pretty much he's doing the bulk of the defense. He's guarding everybody on defense. If you look at his numbers, he's one of the best defenders in the league, guarding 1 through 5 as a 6'9" center. If you look at his numbers against Kyrie, he's the best guy to defend Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is not easy to defend at all. Y'all know that. But Bam does a very good job against him. Bam isn't that. If you look at Bam, Bam is not a superstar. He's not the guy that's going to take over a game and put up 30, 35, and 15 consistently. So that's the thing. And Spo just has these mental lapses sometimes as a coach of not making the right changes at the right moments. Now, he's had some great contributions from guys that are undrafted, like Gabe Vincent, Max Strus. He's had guys come up and step up, but you can't expect that every season. You got to be able to get guys in there to help your main guy, who's now in a contract season, who might not be here next year. You did all of this to get him here, and you did nothing to keep him here. So that's another thing that I feel like can ruin the team because Pat and Spo aren't doing what they're supposed to do to help your star player out.
So, excuse me. One thing I can say, though, Tyler Hero has been hurt. He's never really available. He's a guy that's supposed to help Jimmy Butler out because he's supposed to be really y'all main scorer, like the guy out there just for scoring. You know what I mean? Like, not y'all best scorer, but the guy whose job is to put buckets up. That's his job. That's why he got his money. Jimmy Butler ain't get his money just from scoring. He doing it all. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And then y'all picked up Rozier last year as well. So I feel like that's a main reason why y'all didn't really make too many moves because really what moves was there for y'all to make? Like there wasn't no big man for y'all to get, really. I mean, y'all drafted a guy that we felt like it's going to be a good piece for y'all. We're just waiting to see him play.
Yeah, I think it was more so depth, though. It was more for me. It was just depth. Like what depth do we have on this team? Yes, we got Nikola Jovic, who everyone's expecting to have a great season this year. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I see that he played in the Olympics. He played with Nicole. He's starting. So
yeah.
I want to see exactly what he's capable of. If he's starting, he needs to show me that he deserves to be a starter. Jaime Jaquez, that's a guy that I'm really high on Jaime Jaquez, but what is he? How much is he going to be able to contribute? Who's going to take his minutes most of the time? Because I believe he deserves high minutes. He's the backup for Jimmy Butler, but who's to say that he does not come in and start and we put Tyler Hero back on the bench and have him come out as a six man? Who knows? I don't know. Because for me, what I've seen is Tyler Hero is more effective coming off the bench than starting. He played pretty well early on tonight, but for me, is that going to be consistent? So those are a lot of questions that I have when it comes to this team, is because I need to see it more times than not. I've watched them very closely. I study them. I do, Vaughn, I talk about them often. And I talk about how everybody plays, how Pele Larson, I think he's a great 3-point threat. So how many minutes is he going to get? Is he going to be mixed in with Duncan Robinson? What about the young guys that we have that are on two-way contracts? Rashad Johnson. I think he's not Rashad Johnson, but Keyshawn Johnson. I think he can be a really good contributor. And then to me, it's also some of the boneheaded moves they made. Like you signed Drew Smith. What has Drew Smith done in the league to say that he deserves another contract?
Hey, still, I actually like Drew Smith too.
I don't think he's a bad guy or nothing like that. But for me, he didn't prove nothing on this team to say that he deserved to be re-signed. There were other guys to me that contributed more that should have been re-signed, but you didn't do that. You signed Drew Smith instead. So
could be like practice. Maybe he gives them great looks at practice, scout team, stuff like that.
Yeah. It's possible. But for me, I don't care about scout team. I care about what you contribute.
I get you, but scout team gets you that look you need for the game.
I understand it, but for me, it ain't enough. It ain't enough for me. I want to see what's going to happen on the court. Now, if Drew Smith comes out and play good, all right, then you won't hear nothing else from me. But for me, it's what is he going to do to contribute to this team? We've had guys on this team who rode the bench and collected money, and now we named the bench after him. Donis Haslem. I know he got rings with us, but for me, just me, that was a waste of a roster spot. You could have easily put him as a coach or some kind of motivator or inspirator on the team, and he could still be around. He missed a 305. I'm not saying kick him out of the organization. I'm saying not have him as a roster on the team. He's taking up a roster spot. There's nothing that he was going to do to contribute on the court that he couldn't do as a coach or a consultant. You could just name him he consulted. I'm pretty sure we have plenty of those around. So you could have did that. To me, it's just those decisions is why I question this team so much, because I've seen us get there and win championships. I seen Dwayne Wade get there in 2006 and bring us back from 2002 and beat the Mavericks in 4 straight games. I've seen us, after losing a game finals that we should have won when LeBron James played like trash in the 2011 finals, then we go win the next 2 against OKC and the Spurs, and then we lose in 2014 because all of the injuries and LeBron James pretty much had to do it by himself. So it's just what are we going to do consistently to compete and be heat culture? Because what we were last year was not heat culture. That wasn't heat culture. That's not what I'm used to. I'm used to us fighting for a 5, 6, 4 seed, somewhere in between that. Because if you look at when we made the finals, we were not a number 1 seed. When we were number 1 seed, we lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Boston Celtics. But when we were a 5th seed, we went to the finals. When we were the 8th seed just a couple years ago, we went to the finals. If you look at most of the times, other than when we had Bron and Wade, when we were high playoff teams, we weren't necessarily 1 or 2 seeds. We were lower. So for me, it's like, what are we going to do to get back to that? If we're not getting back to that, then Pat Riley, you may need to just go. We may need someone else in there right now. You've been there long enough, and you've done great for us for as long as you've been there. You're still the godfather. Don't get me wrong. I still appreciate what you've done to bring 3 championships to Miami. But I've seen 2 get taken away from us because you're not doing anything to surround this team with enough talent for us to compete against everyone in the league. Not just the East, but everyone in the league. So
Facts. They're not just going against the East. That's a good point right there. Because like we said, y'all can easily, you feel like get to the finals if y'all click in y'all. But it just at the finals, it's gonna be tough for y'all. So that's definitely a good point, man. But man, whoo, Dave, man, I'm glad you was able to let that out, man. You know, you gotta let the Heat people know. I'm gonna have to send it to a couple of Heat fan pages right quick so they can know you got high expectations. You feel like how I feel with the Steelers. It's like we're done with being mediocre. We're done with just being good. You know, we want to be back to being great. You know, I know that's how you feel. So
That's
I'm
absolutely how I
with you.
feel. I'm tired of us just being okay, just being in the playing tournament. That's not
Facts.
Heat culture. That's not Heat basketball. So go play your butts off in the regular season, so you don't have to worry about this. Don't have to worry about being a 7 or 8 seed playing against the 2 and 1 seed. Go play like it matters. That's all I care about. Just play like it matters, and we'll go from there.
There it is, man. So I want to thank you guys for coming on the show today. I feel like everybody got their rocks off. You know, got to let their organizations know how they feel, what they're expecting this year. Because as the year progresses, we're gonna we're gonna get back to these questions. You know, we're gonna get back to these answers, and we're gonna see how things actually progress. So I want to get everybody last words. We're gonna start from start with Carl and work our way over.
Appreciate you for having me on RBO. I didn't appreciate that Steelers analogy, but it's all good. Pistons took a loss today. It did suck. It hurt. I thought we was legit going to win it. ESPN app set me up yet again. I have to get that off. But someone said Cavaliers. I believe that's next on Friday. To you Celtics. Sorry, I can't troll y'all. Michigan State, Michigan's on, bro. And y'all know that's a big rivalry for me. So tune in to CTC though. I will be live Saturday. Now, whether it's a game day style show or not is up to some of these people on the panel. If you want to join, let me know. But other than that, I appreciate it, and I think we had a wonderful show today.
Sir.
Tomo, if you can answer Teddy's question for me, please.
No. We I'm guest in this house. I'm not doing that on here. I'm not doing that. Teddy, you are wild. That's all I'm gonna say. My last words is, man. Hey, Joe, you see what happened when I try to get my numbers up? Dave found his way to be on the episode also, man. I tried to get my numbers up and Dave showed up. I'm like, what's going on here? But outside of that, man, I appreciate you having me on RBO, man. This was my first episode, so I got to talk about the Wizards. I'm gonna try to come back on a little bit more because I really believe that this team gonna make me upset. But I'm gonna laugh a little bit too, and I definitely want to come on here after we spank the Celtics tomorrow. So I'm gonna just let the Celtics know that because Teddy, you doing a
Hey,
little
Tomo,
bit.
I
Yeah,
say this.
Teddy been calling me out and he don't accept none of my trades in the fantasy league. So yeah, forget this thing. Shout out Devon and RBO, man. Thanks for having me on here. Oh, I'm also with my neighbor too. I ain't like that Steelers analogy.
Dang.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a neighbor. I don't know when the last time I was a neighbor. It's probably a long time ago. But I agree. I also don't like that Steelers analogy. You know, me and Vaughn went back and forth the other day, so I could care less about the silk curtain right now. But no, serious man, Vaughn. I appreciate you for doing this, man, because I've been waiting to talk about Miami Heat. I knew you was gonna do this, so that's why I hit you up personally. Was like, hey, can we do this on this day? And I'm glad that we were able to get this done. I'm glad to finally talk about Heat basketball in a positive way, more so than I have lately. You know, I've been on other Heat shows and it hasn't always been positive, but I'm feeling very different about everything now. After I've talked to a few people, you know, listening to Ticket and listening to, you know, and just seeing everything, seeing what's going around in Heat culture. So I appreciate it. And Saturday, let's go.
I
Let's go
forgot
be
we got to play
Florida.
already.
Let's go be Florida State,
Oh
man.
yeah,
You
that's
know,
right. That's
we
right.
playing. We wearing all black and orange. Let's go break the curse and go beat them boys.
Yo, y'all are
Let's
wearing
go
that
beat them boys.
uniform for that game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That should be a blowout.
We'll see. You know, it's a curse. We normally don't win in that uniform at home against FSU. So let's see what happens.
All right, man. My last word. Shout out my Magic 1-0. You know, Dave. That's 1-0 on the series. it's finally we start off 1-0 in series. Normally we be like 2-0 down 0-2. We got to work our way back. So
That's facts. That's facts.
I think this is finally the year where it's going to be, we are taking over as a team, and in Florida, you got to go with them because we here. So shout out to my Magic, man. Shout out to Dave, Tomo, and Carl for coming through. Shout out to the NBA season, man. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Shout out to the network. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Make sure you also tap in, click that link down low, become a member, join the family. And if you already a member, you got probably 1 minute if you watching and you haven't sent me your pick for this game, Suns versus Clippers. Every 2 weeks, I'm sending out the picks for every national primetime game of the day. It's always at least 2. Give me your picks. Whoever has the most winnings after those 2 weeks get a special prize every 2 weeks for the whole season. So tap in, and we about to roll out, man. You know it's gonna be another episode. You already know your boy gonna be back. Somebody tell them why. They know.
Because real ball is ball, baby.
Yes, sir.
RBO. Shout out to wifey for watching.
He said, shout out to wife.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.
We live.
That's in